In a world that never stops talking, where voices compete louder and louder for attention, what if I told you that the real strength, the kind that moves mountains and builds empires, doesn't come from shouting, it comes from silence? This is not just a story. This is a hidden truth most people overlook. And once you understand it, it can change the way you live, lead, and win. Let me take you into the world of a man who chose silence and gained everything. They called him strange, not because he was loud, not because he was wild, but because he was quiet. In a world that worshiped noise, endless chatter, opinions flying like arrows, and egos inflated by the sound of their own voice, he walked a different path. He chose silence. His name was Ayan. Not many knew much about him. He was the kind of man who sat at the edge of the room and listened, really listened. While others raced to speak first, to interrupt, to dominate conversations, Ayan studied every word, every gesture, every pause. He was invisible, until he wasn't. You see, silence, true silence, isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of control. Ayan understood something most people never learn. Those who talk the most often have the least to say, and those who remain quiet carry the weight of observation, of knowledge, of inner strength. In high school, Ayan was never the loud kid. He never tried to impress anyone. When students mocked him for being too quiet, he smiled and said nothing. But he watched. He noticed patterns, the insecurities behind loud laughter, the cracks in confidence hidden beneath arrogance. He read people like books no one else could even open. By the time he reached university, his silence had become his greatest weapon. While others posted every small achievement online, desperate for validation, Ayan stayed silent and built. He built skills, discipline, resilience. While they partied, he worked. While they argued in classrooms, he listened to what wasn't being said. And when it came time to present a final year project, he stunned everyone. Not because he spoke the most, but because when he finally opened his mouth, he had something real to say. Depth, clarity, precision. It was like the silence had sharpened his voice into a blade. People who once ignored him now leaned in. But here's the truth most people miss. Silence is not about muting yourself. It's about timing, knowing when to speak, what to say, and sometimes choosing not to say anything at all. Ayan wasn't born special. He just practiced what most people fear, restraint. And through restraint, he gained everything others chase through noise: respect, influence, peace. Years later, Ayan built a company, quietly. No flashy announcements, no bragging, just results. In boardrooms, he said less. But when he spoke, the room fell silent. Why? Because they knew. This man doesn't waste words. Every sentence was a decision. Every pause was a strategy. He mastered something every successful person eventually learns. Silence makes you unpredictable. It makes you a mystery. And mystery is powerful. Think about it. The loudest people in the room are easy to figure out. They expose everything, their goals, their fears, their weaknesses. But the quiet ones, they're hard to read, and people respect what they can't predict. It's not about being cold. Ayan wasn't emotionless. He was calm, composed. When others lost their temper, he didn't flinch. When people gossiped, he didn't contribute. When others complained, he found solutions, silently. And that's why he won. You see, silence protects your energy. It shields your focus. It gives you time to think, to calculate, to observe the game while everyone else is distracted playing it. There's a reason lions don't roar when they hunt. Ayan became a lion, not through noise, but through presence, power, and patience. And maybe you can too. Maybe the world has told you to speak louder, post more, fight for attention. But what if the real power is in doing the opposite? What if your silence, your self-control, your calm presence is the very thing that sets you apart? Stay quiet, observe, work, building. And one day, when the time is right, let your results do the talking. Because silence isn't weakness. Silence is power. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers. It's full of strategy, and it's full of power that doesn't need to be proven, just felt. So the next time you're tempted to speak just to fill the void, remember Ayan. Let your silence sharpen you. Let your focus elevate you. And let your success speak so loudly that you won't have to say a word. Thank you for staying with me through this journey. If you felt inspired, learned something new, or just enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story that could change your life. Until next time, stay silent, stay powerful, and I'll see you again with another story that speaks straight to the soul.